convenient place in Norman to receive the COVID-19 vaccination. Find out where. This is OU Nightly. Thank you for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Emma Sears.
And I'm Dayton Deller, and tonight we begin with breaking news. A former United States gymnastics coach died by suicide today. The Michigan Attorney General made the announcement about John Geddert moments ago. Geddert was closely associated with disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar, who was convicted of sexually molesting several gymnasts. Geddert was charged with 24 crimes today, including sexual assault, human trafficking, and running a criminal enterprise. He had served as the head coach of the U.S. Women's Olympic Gymnastics team in 2012. The charges were the latest fallout from the sexual abuse investigation involving Nassar, who is now in prison.
The House Appropriations Committee held a hearing today regarding security failure during the January 6th Capitol riots.
OU Nightly's Skylar Tallal is live from Washington, D.C. and has more. Skylar?
Yeah, thanks guys. I am currently standing outside the Capitol perimeter that's been up since the January 6th attack. Acting Capitol Police Chief Yogananda Pittman testified earlier today saying they were aware of the threat but had no intelligence regarding the magnitude of the attack.
The department was not ignorant of intelligence indicating an attack of the size and scale we encountered on the 6th. There was no such intelligence.
However, Pittman stated the department was so overwhelmed they didn't follow protocols for how to deal with emergency situations. Communication breakdowns were seen that day because commanders who normally oversee the emergency response were physically fending off rioters. And the Capitol Police Department has ensured that they have new security protocols, but Pittman made it clear that these protocols alone would not have been enough to stop the threat they faced. Reporting live from Capitol Hill, Skylar Tallal.
Thanks, Skylar. The U.S. Capitol Police Chief also mentioned new threats against Congress in connection to the State of the Union address. The date has not been set for the address, but the department says it is still watching the threat closely.
Another stimulus check may be coming soon. Lauren Johnson has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world.
Thanks, Emma. Democrats say that they are on track of passing the newest stimulus bill on time. The $1,400 stimulus checks have been a controversial topic between parties. Republicans say it's too much, but Democrats are optimistic that they will get the bill on Biden's desk before the unemployment benefits run out mid-March. The House is expected to have a vote as soon as tomorrow. Then it will go to the Senate. Arizona Republican lawmakers are trying to create a bill that allows them to review election votes if needed. Republicans say it provides a way to audit the election to review or investigate the votes. This bill came to light after the accusations of fraud in the 2020 election. Democrats do not see the point of having the election if legislature could essentially override the results. If this amendment would pass, it would go to a Senate or statewide vote in November of 2022. Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting a major backlash after posting an anti-trans sign outside of her door. Greene's sign said there's only two genders and is located right across the hall from Representative Marie Newman, who has a transgender daughter. This sign was in response to Representative Newman putting out a flag in support of the LGBTQ community.
What I wanted her to do was see the LGBTQ community and understand that equality is way overdue.
Representative Newman says she made her statement by having Greene see the flag every day. It was never meant to be a game. She just wanted to show her support. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Lauren. Oklahoma County District Attorney David Prater files a first-degree manslaughter charge against Oklahoma police officer Sergeant. The charge is against Sergeant Clifford Holman for the death of Benny Edwards, a homeless man who was killed in December. Holman is a 7-year veteran of OKC Police Department.
The OU Department of African and African American Studies will hold a seminar over the Tulsa Race Massacre and reparations. This talk will discuss the history of the event and how relatives of the victims should be repaid for their losses. One of the speakers, Bruce Fisher, is the son of Ada Louise Scipio Fisher, the first black person to be admitted to OU Law School. African and African American Studies major Jamila Reed says it's necessary to heal and rebuild.
I think that is very important, and very important to understand that although today it may not look the same, these things still leave an impact, they leave generational impacts, and the amount of poverty in Greenwood still is a hold us to what happened in 1921.
The seminar will take place Tuesday at noon.
Last night, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt announced that President Joe Biden has approved his request for federal funding for Oklahomans after this month's historic winter storms. According to the governor's office, all 77 counties will receive FEMA public assistance, but only 16 counties were approved to receive individual assistance based on income, insurance, and other categories. Governor Stitt also requested that all Oklahomans continue to report any winter storm-related damages, even if their county has not yet been approved.
And Emma, I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of time outside this week enjoying the sunshine.
Oh, same here, Dayton. Juliana Mejia is here to tell us if we can expect more of that great weather next week. Juliana?
Hey guys, we're coming to you from the top of Gaylord Hall at the moment, and we had a sunny start to the day, but I must admit that I'm pretty ill prepared right now. It is a little bit chillier, and as you can see, skies are pretty cloudy, and actually taking a look at the satellite, we can see how clouds have rolled through the state and really blanketed over the entire state throughout the day today. And this gloomy, dreary look is in anticipation of rain that we're expecting tonight. And this is likely, much more likely for south and southeastern Oklahoma, although chances may reach up into Norman between 9 and midnight tonight. But I'll have more details on rain tonight and for the next coming days ahead later on. For now, back to you, Emma. Dayton.
Thanks, Juliana. A local pharmacy is one of the few in Oklahoma administered to give the COVID-19 vaccine.
Find out where you can go to receive yours right here in Norman.
Plus, a pharmacy in Tennessee has had thousands of COVID-19 vaccines go missing.
See what went wrong straight ahead on OU Nightly.
As the U.S. continues to administer COVID-19 vaccines, Oklahoma is making strides by having vaccinations available at select pharmacies. OU Nightly's Katie Arata is live outside of Sooner Pharmacy with more details. You may be familiar with getting your annual flu shot at your local pharmacy, and now it's possible to get a COVID-19 vaccination at a place like this. Sooner Pharmacy is one of the pharmacies selected by the state to administer the COVID-19 vaccine. Earlier this month, many Oklahoma residents were forced to travel to different cities to get their hands on a COVID-19 vaccine. But now that select pharmacies are administering vaccines, most Oklahomans should not have to travel outside of their hometown to receive one. Sooner Pharmacy got the opportunity to administer vaccines here in Norman, and with the opportunity comes changes to the pharmacy.
So we've had to add a new separate freezer just to store them. We have a refrigerator that we already had that was sufficient, but we needed to add a digital data logger to it, so it will kind of a couple layers of security to ensure that the temperatures and the parameters that it needs to be.
The pharmacy also added a workstation and socially distant seating for patients to receive the vaccine. And though the pharmacy is very familiar with administering flu shots, the process for administering the COVID vaccine is very different.
What's different about the Moderna and Pfizer is that the federal government's taking them, and then you have to go through a different portal to order them, and then they're coming through a McKesson company on dry ice, and then basically you have to take what you can get per week.
Starting this week, the state of Oklahoma expanded those eligible for the vaccine, which now includes teachers and people with comorbidities under the age of 65.
And as of Friday, more than 681,000 Oklahomans have been vaccinated.
Even with vaccine distribution in the work, COVID-19 keeps spreading throughout the state, but at a slower pace than before. The Oklahoma State Department of Health reports just over 1,000 new cases today, bringing the total number of active cases a little over 13,500. The death toll since the beginning of the pandemic has reached over 4,000, with 38 new deaths today.
A pharmacy in Tennessee is in the hot seat after COVID-19 vaccines go missing. Nirali Jayswal has more on that story and others. Nirali?
Tennessee officials are being questioned after Shelby County Health Department wasted 2,400 vaccine doses. Shelby County Health Department Director Dr. Elisa Hochshalter said it was the pharmacist's job to take inventory to track all of the vaccines, and access to the pharmacy was limited.
And so I have made it my responsibility, and it is my responsibility to be accountable for what has occurred.
2 employees are no longer in the positions, and the health department is working to fix those problems. The CDC has discovered a new search tool for COVID-19 vaccines. The general public can go on vaccinefinder.org to find approved providers near them. You enter your zip code and search radius, a list of nearby pharmacies and health centers will pop up. The tool details whether your location has doses in stock or not. Although many mass vaccination sites are not on there, the website is working to be more comprehensive. Nurses are starting to reach their limits during this pandemic. Day in and day out, nurses have been working tirelessly to give their patients the best possible care. This has caused a mental health impact on nurses that many people aren't talking about and is forcing them to quit their job. Some reasons nurses have quit are due to unsupportive workplaces, overwhelming stress, and the fear of bringing COVID-19 home to their families. Many nurses who quit still feel guilty for leaving their patients, but they knew they weren't capable of giving their best possible care from being spread too thin. That's it for the Health Beat today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Nirali. If you've had the coronavirus recently, Oklahoma Blood Institute needs your help.
Find out where you can go in Norman to donate. And Juliana is here to tell us what we can expect for the weather for the rest of the week.
Yeah, so with a blanket of clouds out in the sky currently, we are definitely eyeing rain chances that are in store for tonight. I'll have details on that coming up next. Welcome back to OU Nightly, our Skyline Cam here, showing us overcast conditions, temperatures currently sitting at 51 degrees. Now to show you how tonight is going to play out and roll for the next couple of hours, we do have rain chances, though here in Norman, a little less likely. Definitely that window is between 9 and midnight tonight, and will cool off down to 41 degrees as our low for tonight. And looking at the radar, though, this is where we can see really our rain chances are for south and southeastern Oklahoma. And finally, oh sorry, I skipped right ahead. I do want to show this upper level, this low trough. That's what's bringing in this is the upper level winds that we're looking at 500 millibars, and this trough that rolls across and glides across Oklahoma is what's creating a low pressure system that we can get a glimpse at here on this radar map that is going to be bringing us and creating the showers that we're seeing in the area. Now this dry line rolling through tomorrow, drying us up briefly before we do see more rain for this weekend and at the top of next week as well. And high temperatures for tomorrow, pretty mild, 48 here in the Oklahoma City and Norman area. Again, noting those rains. And finally, rolling out, like I mentioned, drying out tomorrow briefly before we do see more rain chances for Saturday as well as Sunday, and then hopefully kind of picking up with some more mild temperatures in the 50s throughout the top of next week. But again, really we're looking at 20% chances for rain on Saturday in the area, and Sunday that continues up until next week, and looking at some nicer temperatures towards the middle of next week as well. Back to you, Emma and Dayton. Thank you.
The Oklahoma Blood Institute is holding a blood and plasma donation drive on campus this week.
The drive will take place on the OU Greek fraternity and sorority houses, but is open to anyone who has tested positive for COVID-19 in the past or has the antibodies.
Those interested are urged to sign up for a time on the OBI website and see if they qualify to donate.
The next donation day will take place on Monday from noon to 5 p.m. at the Alpha Tau Omega Fraternity House.
And after his car crash on Tuesday, Tiger Woods is still in the hospital.
Grace Burget is here to update us on his condition and why this happened.
That's right, guys. Tiger is recovering from a fatal crash that has many people questioning the cause. I'll have that story and more when we come back. Hello, I'm Grace Burget, and it's time for sports. We begin with the latest update on Tiger Woods. The golfer is recovering from leg and ankle surgery at UCLA Medical Center following a single car rollover crash. Woods is now awake and responsive, but does not remember the crash. And OU baseball is coming off a huge 7-1 win versus UT Arlington, putting them at 2-2 for the season. After going scoreless the first 3 innings, the Sooners scored 6 of their 7 runs in the 4th inning. And the Sooners then held the Mavericks to just 1 run in the 6th inning to clinch the victory. And coming off a loss to number 7 Baylor, the OU women's basketball team bounced back with the win against TCU last night. The victory was OU's first win in Fort Worth since 2017. And leading the Sooners was 5'7" junior guard Taylor Robertson with 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. And Sooner track is hot and heading into the Big 12 championship. Caroline Grace joins us with more.
Hey, hey, Sooner Nation. It is a big weekend for the OU track and field team. They just headed out towards Lubbock, Texas for the indoor Big 12 championship. Now, last year, they were not able to qualify as many athletes as they would like for the NCAA championship, but this year, they really came out strong, made a big impact nationwide, and the culture has just all around changed. Now, here's what head coach Tim Langford has to say ahead of the conference meet.
I'll tell you what, we're looking to compete as hard as we can. The way we've set up the season, the way we've set up, this conference championship has been exactly what we said we were going to do in the beginning. We've increased the quality of our performances. We have a lot of kids ranked in the top spots or the top 3, really got a chance at podium efforts. And that's what it takes to win championships. You begin by quality and then you continue to add quantity as you go along. So I'm excited. It really comes down to this weekend, how all of the conference results shake out. And, we're doing what we said we would do. We want to increase the national performances. We got to bring this program to national prominence. Oh, we're in our championship phase right now. Every coach on staff knows it. At this point, the hay is in the barn. So we have to keep our kids sharp, keep them healthy, mentally ready. They know what they need to do. They're consciously competent. So it's championship phase from here on out.
So the expectations are high this year. There are 33 Sooners inside of the top 10 across all events, excluding relays. That is a huge step ahead of where the team was last year. So you can keep up with the results on Soonersports.com. But for now, outside the indoor facility, I'm Caroline Grace.
And guys, the OU track and field team have been competing amazing lately, so I'm really excited to see what they can do at Lubbock this weekend.
Thanks, Grace. I can't wait to check it out. While NASA sent their own rover to Mars last week, the Sooner rover team is making their own strides as well.
Find out what to expect from the team straight ahead on OU Nightly.
Yes. Oh. I'm Bailey Coyle at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Do you need more? Oh, we're fixing the mic real quick. Okay. Perfect. Oh, let me take my mask off. That might help. Okay. I'm Bailey Coyle at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The House has passed the equality. Yep. I'm Bailey Coyle at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The House has passed the Equality Act, which amends the 1964 Civil Rights Act that protects people from discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. LGBTQ advocates argue that legislation will protect people in states where discrimination is legal. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Well, NASA's Perseverance Mars rover captured our imaginations last week. The Sooner rover team has made their own strides in the creation of their own rover.
The team is nearing completion on their latest rover with the ultimate goal of competing globally against other schools in the University Rover Challenge.
The team is gearing up for a system acceptance review by the University Rover Challenge on March 5th. And now back down to earth. Juliana, what can we expect for the weather this weekend?
Yeah, so for those down in southeastern Oklahoma, definitely rain chances, showers, maybe some thunderstorms tonight. But here in Norman, especially particularly this weekend, we do have a 20% chance for some showers on Saturday and Sunday. We'll be dry tomorrow, and then the top of next week will pick up a little bit. We may see some rain, but yeah, definitely keep a hand on your rain jackets for the next couple days.
Thanks for watching. Good night.